Jimmy's got some of those grandma drapes in his house.
That's right.
Oh, there he is.
Oh my God, there he is. All right. Well, this is the first time we've managed to speak to David in person.
Right.
And see me.
Yeah, and see, yes, look at that. He is actually a real person. We debated this whether David might have been somebody else who was just impersonating a real person. So how's it going, man?
It's going fine. How's it going with you guys?
Well, we just got here right before you did, and
Fair
Vinny has a some kind of party going on in his house right now.
Does he?
Got some coworkers here with me. Yeah. We're calling it
Always
two
a
bottoms
party.
and a top.
On the top.
So we have a built-in laugh track, I suspect.
There we go. I like that.
We better be good and funny. All right, so
Pagan David or
yeah.
Crazy Vinny. And Lord Gino. Vinny, is your audience going to be quiet during the intro, or are they going to talk?
Now let those guys can let it rip. This is a new project of ours. Let's see if we can a live
That's
audience.
right. Oh, I didn't get a drink. I need a drink too. I'll have to do that
What's your
after we
drink?
do the intro. Good evening, weirdos, and welcome to another edition of LIVIN, CRUDDY. I'm your host, Handsome Jimmy, joined as always by Vinny, the lovely and talented Gino Royd, and tonight our guest, the Pagan Attorney, the mayor of Myrtle Beach, Virginia Beach, some beach, I'm not even sure
Myrtle
which
Beach.
one it is.
That's South Carolina, isn't it?
Did I peek out at the beginning too? Was I too loud?
No. Good.
You're good.
Okay.
Well, your microphone's shitty anyway, so you know this. I've offered to buy you one. I've offered to.
I don't need
pay-
one. I have this awesome setup where it's in
Oh,
my
those things
ear
are
and-
terrible. With that look you have going now, it just accentuates the weirdness.
We can't even get through the intro.
All right, I'll be quiet.
I have to redo my contempt for Vinny. That doesn't come easy. Oh wait, yeah, it does.
I don't know where that came from at all.
Good evening, weirdos, and welcome to another edition of Living CRUDDY. I'm your host, Handsome Jimmy, joined as always tonight by the one and only Ramadam Vinny Scrams and the mega talented and super handsome Gino Roy. This week, our guest, he's a pagan, he's a lawyer, he may live in Virginia Beach, we're not totally sure. The one and only David Yore.
We don't know which one he likes better.
Yore
Good to be
David.
here.
David
Yeah.
Yore.
All right, so the vast number of people that watch this show or are aware of this show are people that are part of our cast watch party broadcast that we do every night. David is part of that crew. He's one of the consistent members. I think between David and Alan, Vinny, you guys are probably the top three. Almost. So David has been with us for quite a while. You actually were there when we were on Facebook, right?
Yes.
Okay, now how'd that happen? How'd you find us?
I think you just popped up on my event and groups feed. I haven't been on Facebook since December of 2020, but I was on it for a very long time, about 2008 until the end of 2020. I came across your film Freakout. It was being run by someone else at that point.
Oh, it was the Cruddy Joe era of that.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a slow transition to cast.
Oh, look at Jimmy's little
I
puppy.
did. What's your puppy's name?
This is Joey Ramone. He's our new pug.
Aw.
He doesn't want to walk around with you, Jimmy.
No, he definitely does not. He doesn't want to go in the basement. All he wants to do is sniff
Doesn't want to sniff glue.
It's really weird.
I mean, we haven't discussed this on there really, but I don't know if you're like a big horror fan or if you just like the hanging out aspect. What you're doing?
I like both. I like the chat section where everybody makes all the little comments and jokes and things like that. I mean, it really wouldn't be the Freakout without that.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be.
But,
it wouldn't be hanging out.
So the hanging out is part of that, definitely. And yes, I'm a fan of horror. I'm not as deeply into it as Vinny and you are, John. That's one of the reasons why I come to the Freakout. You guys are really educational in terms of tidbits and trivia and things like that. And people who have been in other movies that, we're watching a certain movie, but this person was also in this movie or that movie. So I learn a lot. I'm also into science fiction and fantasy as well. A lot of the stuff you show, I've never seen or heard about. The novel stuff is really, it's novel to me. It's really something when you don't even know about a movie and then you see it and you really like it.
Were you there for Suburban Sasquatch, David? This is going way back to early days.
I might have been. I just don't remember. Do you remember anyone who was in it?
There would have been nobody that any of us know the names
Okay.
of. It was
I just
a
don't
movie,
remember.
but it was like filmed on video cam, and there was a Sasquatch with giant nipples that would disappear into thin air, and then he would reappear. Yes, he had big pancake nipples.
I did see that. Yes. Yes.
You jogged his memory.
You sure did. I'll also admit, that I have a soft spot for really bad movies,
Awesome.
so-called B-rate or whatever you want to call them.
Yep.
Found a good crew.
Yeah.
I would run more terrible movies, except I know that you get a weird reception. You get people like Paul who just get infuriated if they see something. I can't tell what Alan likes. If you think something's really good, he's going to be like, oh, this kind of sucks. And then if
Yeah,
you
but
play
he
something-
sticks with it, though. I mean, he hates Nashy, but he'll stick there. So
Oh, I know. How does anybody hate Nat? That shit's- he likes all the the Hammer stuff and those anthologies and stuff, but then he doesn't like Nash. So what are your favorite films that we've shown, David?
Oh, that you've shown. I think the funniest one that I was just not prepared for, but stuck it through and really laughed a lot was, it literally was laughing out loud. Lake Texarkana, the one that was the remake of
Gamera.
Yeah, but it's done in a sort of redneck overdub. And when I thought it couldn't get any better, it got better, in terms of like stuff I just wasn't expecting. I thought they would run out after about maybe 10 to 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah, it looked like it was going to dry up.
As far as just horror without the humor element, which I really do like humorous movies. I like The Divide. I had not seen that before, but I saw it on your cast.
Right.
I really liked it.
So you've been coming out since the Joe days.
Yes.
You transitioned over to cast.
Yes.
And then Vinny replaced Joe essentially, and he brings his own entire thing to it. I mean, Vinny comes with a plethora of films, vast knowledge, doesn't have the I'm going to torture you with shitty movies thing.
Well, I got to try harder then.
Oh,
Vinny saved that show. I couldn't have done every night.
Winter Beast. That's all I know.
Winter Beast. I like that. I know Jimmy's never seen that. Of course, Jimmy has no
Yeah,
idea.
Jimmy, what's your favorite movie on the Freak Out?
yeah, the one with the guy and there's two things in space, right? And then there's a bucket at the end, I think.
We know Jimmy will show up on the Friday that we run Living CRUDDY.
Well, yeah, I got to see my face.
But then you'll be there all night, apparently.
No, it's usually me walking away from my iPad.
That's what I figured. No.
I go in my backyard to get drunk.
The movie side of it is just, that's not ever happening. You've never watched a movie on.
Nope. Never an entire film.
What do we have to do to get you to be engaged by this band endeavor?
Make it so that I don't have to watch all this on my, mobile device.
It's available on everything. It's available on laptop. You put it on your TV.
I'm kind of with you, Jimmy. I kind of like to see things on my desktop because it's a bigger screen. The smaller screens, I don't know why, it just isn't the same. Yeah.
I struggle with that. But I do try.
Pornhub, would you watch?
Oh, yeah, those I'm okay with. But there's usually, that's real fast. That movie's over in about 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, that reminds me of a story. I probably told this before, but back in Florida, when the mom and pop VHS stores were still around, this is before Blockbuster, used to go to this one place. They all had, obviously, the back room where you go in and get the adult movies. That was Jimmy's experience in the adult movie room. But you come out with a pile, like 6 movies. And this old British lady, her and her British husband, they ran the place.
Hello.
Exactly. She had a squeaky little voice with an English accent.
Going to do some wanking.
She's like, I don't know why do you rent so many of these movies? You only watch them for 5 minutes at a time, boys.
Is it Wednesday already?
So, Gino, back in the day, it was only shown on Fridays? And sometimes Saturdays?
Yeah, mostly Fridays was the original.
Right.
thing.
And Fridays are still kind of the centerpiece even today. There's a kind of inertia there, I guess. But now it's like every night. So and it kind of grew gradually, I guess.
When Joe left, I was like, I'll do Friday, then maybe squeeze in the Saturday thing or skip Saturday and do Sunday. We had the Wednesday night thing that Vinny immediately said, I'll do Wednesday, and then just went right into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and never stopped. He started his own theme, created his own little horror host intros, all that stuff that I know that David is a huge fan of all that.
I am. I admit it.
I can't get enough of that. So we fleshed out every day in the week. I just got to the point where we're doing 4 nights in a row. I'm like, I'm going to torture people with the stuff that I show is pretty similar. I figure if somebody else came in and showed something a little bit different, glad Alan jumped in. Hopefully he sticks it out.
Definitely has a whole different approach.
Oh yeah, no, he likes a lot of terrible shit, but
I was trying to be more PC.
well, he likes terrible movies and terrible music. So I mean, what are you going to do? This is a running theme throughout the entire cast experience.
It's also nice that you guys can fill in for each other. Like if Vinny has a date that he wasn't expecting in terms of like DJing, or you have something you have to do.
A dentist appointment after 9 p.m. Yeah.
There you go.
With COVID, you had this whole like shit never going on ever. So you're stuck home. Yeah. Things are starting to become, I got something coming up in a couple weeks that I'm going to have to ask somebody. I already asked Vinny and Alan to fill in for me. That'll probably happen more often. If we can ever play another gig again, then that'll happen as well. That'll be a Friday.
When the Crud's going world tour, what are you going to do then?
We'll have to have a live feed.
Yeah.
I'd come.
We could definitely do a live feed. I was thinking about if we could do a special, invite everybody here and do just like a special show here. I mean, we got enough room up there to get everybody up in there.
Yeah.
We actually practiced how many times now?
One time. One official time.
What? One official time. Okay. It was actually 2, but first night was a complete fucking train wreck.
Hey, it wasn't that bad.
It was horrible.
I was there too playing. I did okay.
Well, man, I know you love your own playing. It sounded like shit.
So, Gino, if you're going to be touring, I mean, are you ever going to come to Virginia?
Virginia would not be a hard one to do.
Okay. Oh, you're just going to record it first then?
Well,
we got to rehearse, then record, then play local, then figure out when Pepsi wants to sponsor a world tour.
we used to drive all over and do shows. We weren't doing like official tours, but we would do a weekend where we go hit, venues at Atlanta or whatever, someplace in Kentucky. I don't know if Jimmy ever went to Ohio with us, but we would do stuff like that.
We did the horror con in Ohio.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we did
with
that.
Doc on drums. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh my God, that was when Boomer fell and broke his collarbone. I had to pay a drummer $200 to play a gig with us, and I think we made $25. So it was one of those negative 120.
The net loss.
Rock and roll.
Well, he got paid, so he's like the one guy that got. He's like, anytime you want to do this, we can do it again. I'm like,
obviously,
I don't know if we can afford it. I do know that was the night that we met Clint Howard, who wandered in while we were rehearsing. There's nobody, this huge room, and then in walks this guy. I'm like, is that fucking Clint Howard? And he walks right up, and he's like fucking headbanging in the whole fucking 9 yards. It was hilarious. He was way into it. Then he took off. And then we had that show. Who played that? It was Calabrese was there.
Yep. And
Harley Poe. Yeah, another one of those.
Harley Poe. What was the other band?
It was somebody in that horror. But I remember specifically that Jimmy and Chris and Wolfie were sharing a room, and you guys were fairly drunk. And there was a story behind that. I don't quite remember what happened.
Midget groupies?
No. Yeah, that's me and Chris were in a room together. No, I hadn't eaten all day, and I ate like 2 chili dogs, drank a quart of vodka, it was bourbon. Drank a lot of bourbon.
Jesus.
And then I had like an angina agita attack in the middle of the night.
Wait a second, that's news to me. You had chest pain then.
Well, no, I had GERD, and they didn't have any Tums or anything, so I ended up eating Fritos.
Oh, I remember the Fritos now.
Which everybody knows that if you can't find sodium bicarbonate or some variation of that, Fritos will definitely stop your heartburn.
I have to try that.
So what happened after the Fritos then? Remind me.
I think I passed out on the bathroom floor. But the next morning when you took us all to Bob Evans for the big band breakfast, I was like, I ate my weight in sausage.
Rock and roll, kids. Rock and roll.
Yeah, that's rock and roll, baby.
All right, well, we've spent enough time on our ridiculousness. I want to find out about David's pagan adventure.
My pagan adventure?
Yes. Tell us about how you got into all that and what does that mean to you now?
Okay. Well, I have been a pagan for a number of years. I do go to pagan events. I speak once a year at Pagan Pride Day. Mine is called Paganism and the Law. It's an interactive workshop where people get to ask me questions. And the questions are different every year. We didn't have it in 2020 because of COVID. We did have it in the last year, and we'll have it this year because it's an outside event. The numbers were definitely down because of COVID, but there are also vendors there, things like that, pagan vendors. A lot of people will come up to me and ask me questions about neo-paganism because they're there. One of the functions of a Pride Day is you get to sort of be an ambassador to people who are not part of the inside of it, which I really like. I mean, they'll ask me all kinds of questions and I'll answer them. They don't usually ask me anything that's super hard. I actually feel like it's nice. They feel like they can come up to someone like me and just say, what does this mean? What does that mean? Or how do you deal with this? So it's nice. But like I said, it's different every year. I very seldom get asked the same questions. And a lot of that has to do with what happened the year before, like during the interim.
We know paganism is a broad term and inclusive of a lot of things. I mean, if you had to describe what you were doing and what all that was for you.
I self-identify as pagan, but more narrowly as an occultist. But you're right. I mean, it's an umbrella term. There are people who are involved in Wicca. They're involved in Druidry, Asatru, which is the Norse Reconstructionists, Celtic Reconstructionism. Just about any culture has some kind of pre-Christian spiritual tradition that they practice. And a lot of them are Reconstructionists, which means they're constantly discovering what practices were and adapting them to modern times. Archaeology has a lot to do with that. They'll discover, some sort of Viking longship that's been buried or something like that, and then they'll learn something from it. They'll say, oh, this is the way people did funerary practices, or they'll find some kind of scroll or writing or a rock that has runes all over it, and they'll say, oh, this is a blah, blah, blah kind of thing. It's really kind of constantly evolving for a lot of the Reconstructionist movements.
Would you describe yourself as an archaeologist? Or do you have that background? Or?
Well, I minored in anthropology, so I guess I can say a little bit as far as formal training goes. My minor kind of shifted around while I was in college. I was very settled on my major, which was government. I switched from thing to thing to thing, and one of them was music, but then I shifted to anthropology. That was my final minor. So the answer, I guess, is that's somewhat.
Okay, so anthropology is the study of life.
Anthropology means the study of man. I don't think you can get any broader than that, right? Archaeology, we used to call the science of trash, or if you want to sound highfalutin, garbology. You can learn a lot from people's trash. My sister is a private investigator. She actually gets paid for trash analysis.
really?
She calls it, yeah.
You have an attorney and a private
Trash
investigator.
analysis.
Oh, yes, my sister's a private investigator, but she basically will inventory, trash. You can learn a lot, like how much someone drinks. And,
So she's the type that turns over the trash can and is cleaning up the stuff to find that type of thing, or
she doesn't do it herself. She hires somebody else to bring the trash. And then,
I always thought that would be kind of a cool job. Well, since you're into anthropology, I had a question for you.
Sure.
I found this old tampon, and I was wondering if you could tell me what period it was from.
He threw it at him.
What?
Yeah, Benji Bronk researching jokes for you over there. What's going on?
We only waited 25 years to tell that joke. So.
That's great.
You don't run it. I'm like, oh, finally.
Get the pom-poms.
Archaeology. We can do this joke now. So like paganism, we know that being attorney doesn't just mean you do always just Perry Mason.
I'm what's called a general practitioner. What happens is my clients expect me to do everything. They never do that with doctors. They never ask their foot doctor, will you do an EKG on me? I'll do criminal defense, traffic defense. People have a very different attitude toward traffic cases than they do criminal cases. Who was that?
My wife getting ready to go to jujitsu.
Jimmy's romantic interlude disrupted our discussion about
There you go.
being an
There are
attorney.
worse ways to be interrupted, I suppose.
That's right.
The other things people come in are very mundane things, like if they need a will done or power of attorney, something like that. Sometimes they just need advice.
What makes David dance?
What makes David dance?
Yes. I just thought of
He's a DJ. He wants to know.
Yeah, tell us your music preferences and all that.
I don't dance very well at all. There was an event that we had. I was on the board of directors of a nonprofit, and they wanted us, all the directors, to come up on stage. All my friends said, David, we love you, but not when you dance. So what I tell people is I dance like a white cisgender male. What makes you want terrible? What makes me want to dance?
Yeah.
No, I like all kinds of music. This kind of goes over in Europe. It really depends on my mood and what I'm doing. Like if I'm driving, I will listen to one kind of music. If I'm working, I will play music in the background, but not with voices because they will distract me. So I like instrumental type music. That won't interfere with my creative writing process. I listen to classical music and I like new age. Obviously, I also enjoy rock music, heavy metal, stuff like that. Like I said before, a lot of it depends on what I'm actually doing when I'm listening to music or like what my mood is. I also like folk music too.
Vinny has a lot of requests for folk music at his DJ gigs.
Oh, yeah,
the
the dance
time.
clubs.
I'm sure.
Get an hour-long mix with Joan Osborne. Great.
Is she a folk artist?
What about you, Jimmy? What do you got?
Paganism and the Golden Bough by James George Fraser. That's still considered a good place to start if you're looking to build your ritual content.
I have the book. I've read the book. A lot of my fellow pagans have not. It's very academic. They're more interested in usually about their own practices. And Golden Bough is it was an important book, very important book. I'll be honest with you, I read it because of anthropology.
It's one of my favorite, especially when the seasons change. I love to read from that about some of the solstice rituals. It always freaks my kids out.
I'm discovering something new about Jimmy. I had no idea you ever read anything.
No, I do. I read all the time. I have a whole wall of books behind here in front of me.
Well, then, all right. What are your
Dr.
jams
Seuss.
on when it comes to reading, Jimmy? I need to know this.
You want him to pan the screen over to his library so you can
Yes.
see it?
This is what I'm reading right now. I'm reading
Craft.
Freemasonry. History of Freemasonry. It's riveting.
This is a whole new Jimmy that we're finding out about.
And I just finished a book about life in the behind the Iron Curtain. There's two different time periods, I guess, cultural.
He's got this new George Lucas beard thing going now.
It's not new. I didn't think it's new.
Well, because
I've been
it's
rocking
like
the same
it looks
terrible
like-
facial hair for like 4
Scraggle.
years.
What is your daily routine for doing your facial hair? What is that?
I look at it and I go, I can't believe it's not here yet. I haven't shaved in 4 years. Then I shave my neck.
Well, I don't understand the neck shaving part.
I don't know. It looks weird.
Is that like because you're trying to look reputable for the job,
I
or
don't,
is
please, reputable.
well, I know you
That
got
ship has sailed.
you put those photos out with your company, and I'm like, look at that. He looks like fucking Adolf Hitler, man. That was a
The
weird.
company is now open.
I stumbled across those photos on Facebook, and I was losing my shit laughing. It was so funny. I just assumed that you were going with that look because it was humorous.
I can't believe you didn't come to the party.
Oh, well, it was like a Monday, right? Yeah. Well, and I'm not going to pile into a place where there's like 30 random people. Not yet.
Oh, 20 of us tested positive for COVID.
Of us, including Jimmy?
No, sorry, monkeypox. It was monkeypox,
Okay.
not COVID.
You can't even make that joke then.
I'm kidding. Kidding.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I forgot to ask. David, what was your first horror movie?
Oh my goodness. And you like this question. You ask it a lot.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I had a mild case of insomnia, so I'd stay up at night. This is before cable television. So I had a TV in my room, and I would like turn on the TV and watch horror movies. That's what was on late at night, right?
Yeah.
Usually. This is broadcast TV now. So I kind of got addicted to that. And I do remember, I think I was 7 or 8 years old. I was very young. I snuck out of my house and I went to a community center where they were playing a horror movie. I was there alone, but this is like a community center. So there were people from my community there. And I can't believe I'm saying this. They were showing The Blob, the original one. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
We
And
just
that
watched it
scene,
today.
we did?
Steve
Okay.
McQueen.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Being 7 or 8, I can't remember which one I was, but that scene where he's poking the meteorite and this goo starts going up, I lost my shit. I was going, oh,
Yeah.
drop the stick, stop poking it, stop doing it. And I just remember it just, it really, it scared me, but it also thrilled me. You know what I mean? That kind of, the adrenaline rush. So that's the first one I remember, Vinny, as far as a real psychological response. Now, of course, as I got older, that kind of waned, but willing suspension of disbelief and all that. When I was younger, that was not a thing. You're more immediate.
Right.
Oh,
So-
That movie terrified my mother when she was a little kid when she saw it.
Really?
Because it doesn't make a sound and she was afraid to go to sleep.
Yeah.
You can close your door, but it can creep under the door and it'll get
That's
you.
just going to go right under the
Right.
door. Yep.
She was terrified. Yeah.
That's one of those ones that I could definitely see scaring. So, and you would never have seen anything like that prior. That's a good one. Good first movie. Not all that different from The Fly, which was mine. So vivid color.
Yeah. Great
Something
stuff.
you'd never seen before.
I got to see Vincent Price speak at our speaker series at William & Mary. I was a freshman at the time.
Awesome.
And it was awesome. He did talk about The Fly. He was talking about, the help me thing. And he said they were laughing so much, they were like, help us when they saw that. He had a really good sense of humor. I also didn't realize how tall he was. He was actually a very tall man. Yeah, he actually read The Raven, the whole poem to us. It was really
Oh,
something.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
I would drive across the country to see that.
Yeah. Wow.
Very cool.
Awesome.
That's something I'm definitely jealous of.
Aren't you related to him too, Gene?
Yes, I am. He's my cousin. 17 times removed. But I did find him. You can path over right on Ancestry between me and Vincent Price. But he didn't leave me anything in the will, which sucks. All right. So are you up for trying our quiz portion of this?
I am. I was just trying to figure out what a guy like Vincent Price would put in his will.
Cooking utensils.
Yeah, all his cooking, his
Recipes.
his books, his recipe books.
Evidently, he really was into cooking. Yeah.
And art. Lots of art.
Okay, yes, I'm ready. I'm ready, Gina.
It's been a while since we've done one of these where we actually do.
Yeah.
I know.
Who was the last person we talked to where we did one of these?
Doom. She's dragging me.
Tomb.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago then. Tomb, he's animating his Nadlibs.
Yeah.
And he showed me some stuff that he was putting together. It's pretty cool. I can't wait to see that.
Does sound cool.
Yeah.
You are under no obligation to do that, David. You may litigate your
Oh, no.
Ad Lib, but you don't have to illustrate or animate.
He's going to wrestle ownership of Nadlibs away from
That's
him.
right.
All right. You know how the quiz works. We have a couple different sections here. The first part is we read the song lyric. You tell us the following lyric, tell us who did it and the name of the song. And you know the part about the lifelines, right? Where these
Yes.
two guys, it looks like Jimmy's getting ready to leave.
I just spilled my entire drink in my lap. Yep. Trying to get my laptop up.
These are my lifelines.
Yes.
Yeah. This is what you got to deal with, buddy.
You know, it's quite thrilling if you urinate in your pants. It's a warm, fresh feeling.
Depends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fresh.
Depends. Yeah. there you
I
go.
wasn't even trying. I wasn't.
Let's rewind.
Focus.
It's been a while since we've done these, so I've forgotten how to intro them. But basically what this is the music lyric quiz. We have 3 songs. What I'll do is I'll read a lyric. You tell me the following line, name of the band, name of the song, and you have 2 lifelines. Your lifelines tonight are Vinny and Jimmy.
Yay.
It's been so long since we've done one of these, I can't even remember if these guys are any good at this.
No, we're terrible.
You have to sing them.
So if you agree,
Gino
to
hates
proceed-
that. He says it every time.
Yeah.
He doesn't like
Yeah.
singing it, which is funny because he's a musician.
Ah.
So I have
Not
a
a
DJ
singer.
who doesn't know lyrics.
Jimmy's the singer. I don't know why
A
Jimmy's
musician
not-
who hates singing. Okay.
I should give this job to Jimmy, then he can sing the whole damn thing.
Drenched in irony.
Yes,
Yes.
but Jimmy doesn't know the answers. So
No.
Jimmy doesn't know any of the songs. He doesn't know any lyrics to anything, so I can't even imagine why he wants to be a singer.
these are my lifelines.
Yep.
Exactly.
Good luck, buddy.
I'll need it, right?
All right.
No,
So I'll read a couple lines. Tell me the following line, the name of the band, and the name of the song, and use your lifelines. They don't expire. The first one is
You can always edit it out.
Get a few.
by the time you see him. See, David's already crying. He's
Yeah, I actually, part of my, I'm drinking sparkling wine, and some of it like popped up in
between you and Jimmy, we were having a total drinking meltdown here tonight. So
I'm afraid I just started. I was drinking tea.
I just started too, and half of it ended up in my lap.
So you have a drinking problem?
Yeah, yeah.
There you go. You can always blame it on your pug. What good does it do to have a new dog if you can't blame things?
blame it on Joey Ramone. These lyrics are: I move like a cat, I talk like a rat, I sting like a bee. Babe, I want to be your man. Well, it's plain to see you were meant for me. What is the next line? Name of the band, name of the song.
Jimmy?
It's definitely T-Rex.
What's the line? Move like a cat,
I'm
talk like a rat, sting like a bee. Babe, I want to be your man. Well, it's plain to see you were meant for me.
I'm your toy, your 20th century boy.
That's correct.
Yay!
T-Rex.
Hey, we get a winner.
This song goes: the farms of Ohio had been replaced by shopping malls. Muzak filled the air from Seneca to
To Cuyahoga?
from Seneca to Cuyahoga Falls. What is the next line? Name of the band, name of the song.
That sounds extremely familiar. I hate to do this, but would you mind trying your best to sing it?
Yeah, that would really help us, I think.
Oh yeah, okay, I could do this.
I know you don't like to do it.
Of course I can do this.
Which is partially why I'm doing it.
The farms of Ohio had been replaced by shopping malls, and the music filled the air from Seneca to Cuyahoga Falls.
Is it
Hey.
Pretenders?
It is
Yes.
the Pretenders. What is the line, though? The farms of Ohio have been replaced by shopping malls. I think that's how the music filled the air from Seneca to Cuyahoga Falls. That's how she stresses it. What is it?
I know it's one of their top 40 hits, too.
It was after the guys died and they came back out with this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, one more time.
The farms of Ohio had been replaced by shopping malls, and music filled the air from Seneca to Cuyahoga Falls.
Vinny?
I mean, I'm only thinking middle of the road, but
Same album. That's
Same
the right album,
album, yeah.
wrong song. There's a bass line. Do you know the bass line, Jimmy? Maybe you could.
oh, okay. I know that one.
So, what is the chorus for that?
I don't know.
Hey, where'd you go? Ohio.
That's close enough. What's the name of the song? Does anybody know the name of that tune?
My city was gone.
The City Was Gone. Yeah. So
Yeah,
you got
that's
it.
what it's
We
called, right?
sorted it out. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's see if it's as easy as you say it is.
Ooh, man.
If you guys don't
Even a
get this,
caveman could do it.
Ooh, Jesus.
Did you fart over there?
Jesus,
You gotta
Benny.
sanitize your own flatulence. Too disgusting.
this one is very difficult. You guys are going to have to team up to get this one.
All right, we got this.
Okay, the lyrics are: found my coat and grabbed my hat. I made the bus in seconds flat. Found my way upstairs and had a smoke. What is the next line? Name of the band, name of the song.
It's the Beatles. I think it was one of John Lennon's songs. Is it Day in the Life?
It is Day in the Life. Do you know the next line? Found my coat and grabbed my hat. Made the bus in seconds flat. Found my way upstairs and had a smoke.
La.
That part follows the next line.
Oh, so I got
know
the
that these guys can help you with it.
Jimmy?
Gene, I'm sorry. Could you sing it again, but a little more, like the song?
Found my coat, grabbed my hat. I made the bus in seconds flat. Found my way upstairs and I had a smoke.
Somebody spoke and I fell into a dream.
That was the most embarrassing thing ever. 3 of 3. That's an amazing performance. It's unbelievable.
Yes!
You guys know your rock and roll.
There's the pom-poms again.
When he does that, you can see that there's actually some background there. So it's
Yes.
Yeah.
that's where all the bodies are hanging in the background. All right, 3 of 3. Way to go, David. All right, let's move on to the movie quote section of this.
This is where Vinny's going to shine.
I think that between Jimmy and Vinny that you can blow through all these. I don't see
Only if the line is, "Hi, how are you?" Yeah, I'm gonna guess.
Yeah.
there's one of them that you'll know the quote. You might not be able to pin down the movie that it's in, but all of these you will recognize.
So what we do the movie and what else? Character and movie. Okay.
And who wrote it? And who did the grip? And who did the?
Yes.
Kate-
Who the
craft
best
service?
boy?
Best boy.
Yeah. What is the best boy to dolly grip and all that?
I don't know what a best boy does.
And a gaffer. What is a gaffer?
Gaffer grabs the thing.
Sound effect.
Yeah, they're gaffing continually.
I know it appears we're in show business, but we're actually not in show business. So
We just guess at everything here. All right. Well, here's the first quote from a movie. And the quote is, "Let me get one rib. I sure am hungry." Who says that and what is the name of the movie?
Vinny?
Let me get one rib. I sure am hungry.
You going to me? How much for order ribs. Oh, put in my hand for a dime. That would be Chris Rock, and I'm gonna get you sucker.
Yeah, I knew he'd get it.
I quote that shit all the time.
You get one
You gotta change my
rib.
100.
I get one rib.
One rib. One rib.
All right, 1-for-1. Vinny comes through. Let's move on to the next one.
You know what I should do? I should watch movies with thought of I could be asked about this in a future trivia
Yeah.
quiz.
Could happen.
Yeah.
All right, the next one is, this is another relatively easy one. Are you going to bark all day, little doggy, or are you going to bite? Who says that, and what is the movie?
I like the line. Vinny?
That's Michael Madsen in Reservoir Dogs, right?
It sure is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sure is. 2 for 2.
I even knew that one.
Well, Jimmy's history as not ever getting these made him go right to Vinny. All right, the final one. The quote is a little bit longer. Why don't you call them right now and have them send down an ambulance? Tell them there's 2 sorry-looking assholes here with multiple contusions and various abrasions and broken bones. It's a series of movies with a badass as the central character.
Star Wars?
It's not Star Wars. There's no lightsabers in these movies.
Well, it wouldn't be Jimmy if he didn't mention Star Wars somewhere.
I got to mention Star Wars.
Yeah.
Shoehorn it in there.
Read it one more time, Vinny.
Why don't you call them right now and have them send down an ambulance? Tell them there's 2 sorry-looking assholes here with multiple contusions, various abrasions, and broken bones.
Sounds like
I'll give you a hint. This movie has another quote in it that was possibly the biggest quote of the decade.
Dirty Harry.
The character is Dirty Harry.
Okay.
Oh,
So we have to actually know the actual Dirty Harry movie?
Know
Like
the,
which
if
one?
you know the movie, yes. Do you know?
Well, you said that it was in the same movie as the quote, which I'm assuming was "Go ahead and make my day." Oh, Vinny knows.
would that be Sudden Impact?
It is Sudden Impact.
There you
sudden
go.
impact.
Yay!
So you got all of those. Look at that.
I almost said fried green tomatoes.
A perfect 6 for 6.
Oh man, I
Say,
still
how
might
can
be
you
right.
understand? Did you spill too? Vinny, it looks like he spilled something.
Yeah, I spilled placenta all over me. What?
Jesus
Vinny farted too. Jeez.
It's the second time.
Let's move on to Nadlibs now.
All right.
I hadn't written a Nadlib in quite some time. That one that we did
Jesus
for Tomb was one that I started preparing a little
What's
bit.
going on over there?
No, what the fuck, Vinny?
Now he's here. Oh no.
Listen,
Not
it's
bad.
well documented. Those do
Oh, my
not
God.
filter out fart particles.
Dare I ask who's in your presence where you have to mask up?
Yeah,
His own
His own butt is in his presence.
it's only me now. Yeah.
It must be pretty bad if
Oh, for God's sake. The Vinny Comedy Hour.
oh my goodness.
Well, we'll just sit here and watch Vinny and see what happens next.
So Gino, you have to show that at least 3 times. Yes, slow-mo, that would be great.
It must be pretty bad if oh, for God's sake. The Vinny Comedy Hour. My goodness. Well, we'll just sit here and watch Vinny and see what happens next.
It's really great to be able to see all you guys, by the way, like actually see
Yeah,
and
no,
hear you.
it's very cool to be able to finally see you. Like I said, in the beginning, we weren't
Likewise.
sure you actually existed.
Yeah.
He might be a bot. He might be the cast guy coming in here making sure that we're not running the wrong movies or something.
Rumors of my non-existent are premature.
But we have proof now. Jimmy's got a drink now. Is he going to spill this one too?
He's showing it to us to make sure it's actually full.
Well, don't get too drunk because you got to read this in a couple minutes.
Oh, don't worry. I got this.
I got it.
We get to hear Jimmy read a Nadlibs and slurring.
Yes.
Yes.
When I write these Nadlibs and I don't know a whole lot about the people, it could go anywhere. And hopefully none of this stuff offends anybody. So
How long does it take you to write these things, Gino?
I try to get them done in like 90 minutes. So,
Wow.
So that's why the
dedication.
stories make absolutely no sense half the time.
Right. The endings are sometimes abrupt.
Oh, the endings are abrupt because it's like I look and I'm like, oh shit, I got like 19 paragraphs and I don't know where this is going.
Oh, Jimmy's mom, the end.
All right, well, let's get started on this. We don't waste anybody's time.
Sounds like we should.
All right, a color, any color,
Green. It's my favorite color.
a town,
Virginia Beach.
a film freakout member,
Larry.
a derogatory name,
Bozo.
a horror film, any horror film,
The Blob.
the blob.
Oh, Vinny farted again.
Oh no, Vinny, what's going
Oh,
on?
no.
What'd you
Dare
eat
we ask?
today, bro?
Come on, man. Give me a DJ, any DJ,
Vinny.
a
Now I see why
number,
these things 3,
another number,
7.
a car model, and the year that that car came out in.
Gremlin 1970, I guess. You know what's going to happen. Larry's going to go, well, David, you should have known that.
Well, especially
He's really into
since he's in
cars.
the story now.
Yes, he is.
A place near the town near Virginia Beach.
Williamsburg.
An antiquated illicit drug.
Antiquated? Laudanum.
My favorite.
I feel like that's what Gene was fishing for. Yeah.
It actually wasn't, but that's a great choice. A car
That's what
part. Any part of your car. Another number.
666.
Another word for excrement.
Who?
Another number. I don't know why there's so many numbers in this.
Yeah.
1,000,000.
Another number.
Wow. It's a numbers game.
Yes.
Yeah, you're going to run out.
13.
Don't read ahead. All right. A male body part.
Scrotum.
Very specific.
An adjective.
Beautiful.
A plural noun.
Octopode.
You said octopus?
Octopode.
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 Ow.
The actual plural is octopode, not octopi.
Not octopi. That's right.
Octopode. How do I
Common
spell it?
misconception.
P-O-O?
P-O-D.
O-D. Okay.
I guess they must have octopoo. I guess
They do have
Because
octopus. A noun. Any noun.
Cemetery.
Cemetery.
A number.
100.
A bad word. Any bad word.
Shit.
Works.
That works.
A nonsense word.
Ballyhoo.
No, that'll work.
A funny word for underpants.
A funny word for underpants.
Yes.
Can I have a lifeline?
Sure. Yeah.
Sack
Grape
holder?
smuggler? Grape smuggler or banana hammock?
Damn it. No one's ever going to say shit sack. Damn it.
Might
What are
be
you
a bit
doing
rough.
with your underpants?
You had it with
What do I
depends.
know?
Vinny, you had it with depends earlier, so
Yeah, I know that joke already. Something that smells
I don't know.
strong.
formaldehyde.
A male body part.
Prostate.
That works. I got to make sure I'm doing this right.
Oh boy, here we go.
I need another body part.
Earlobe.
A slang word for cop.
Fuzz.
A female body part.
Buzz.
Vinny's going to come up with like 5 before I even say anything. Uterus.
Uterus. That always works.
Yummy.
A bodily fluid.
Saliva.
A type of animal.
Platypus.
Platypus. Another female body part.
Boobs.
A noun. Any noun. We're getting there now.
Ocean.
An animal, plural.
Giraffes.
Giraffes.
Hurrah.
Giraffe.
Girafes. Is the alcohol kicking in now? Is that what's happening? But only 3 of us are drinking.
Mm-hmm.
I need Jimmy to have some slurring.
Don't you worry.
Do you have an adjective for me?
Scary.
A color.
Sky blue pink.
Never heard of that color.
Sky blue pink?
Sky blue pink.
Yes. I mean, I'll admit it's arcane. That's why I said it. My father was an artist, so I know about colors and values and all that.
I didn't know there was a sky blue pink.
Oh, is this another first? Is that the third first?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, all right.
The third
Here's
one.
another first. This is the first time I've asked anybody for a Mexican dish.
A Mexican dish.
Yes.
Selena.
Flan.
Flan. Oh, that's a good one.
An adjective.
Calm.
Oh,
It sounded like you said Kong.
That would have been good, but it's not an adjective.
I need another bad word, a different bad word.
I'm being naughty today, aren't I?
Yes,
Fuck.
that works. A type of ocean fish. A type of ocean fish.
Garibaldi.
Garibaldi.
that how that
It's
works?
the half Italian in me that makes me roll the R's.
What's the other half?
It's a mix of Swedish, Norwegian, Irish, Scottish, and French Canadian.
What's another word for bag?
Sack?
I was going to say that.
Great minds run in the same gutter. So
That's terrifying.
Possible Jimmy will have some trouble with some pronunciations in this. I hope he doesn't.
No.
Oh, don't you worry, buddy. I got it.
I actually wrote out one of the pronunciations in here.
see, now I'm learning the behind the scenes stuff. You have to actually
Yeah.
be phonetic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's
yes,
there's
you
a
have
lot
to
of
behind the
magic.
scenes.
nuance. The nuance. behind it
Absolutely
all.
exciting.
Yes. See,
And finally, a year in the future.
2050.
Now, this is the part where I copy this and I email it to Jimmy. Jimmy, in his drippy, wet pants, tries to read this story.
This is why I'm really glad Jimmy's here, because I love it when he reads these Nadlibs.
That is my favorite part.
Is it?
Jimmy gets to do something.
Well, and the stories are so ridiculous and usually include my mother. I am going to put my glasses on for this one. But
Yes.
these are new glasses, so.
Oh, because they're new. You should like minimize the Pornhub one.
Too late.
Well, I wanted to see your
Hey.
library earlier, by the way. You
I
Discovered
did,
there
but you
was
were
a
gone,
bong and
I
a
think.
dildo up on there.
He has an
The
encyclopedia.
library. Yes,
So
lots
I have
of
a-
good books.
There is a little bit of a glare. But
All right. Actually, I just blew the font up huge, so I don't even.
if you're
know.
looking down, we don't see the glare, but we do when you look up.
I see it in your pupils.
I think it's that my hair is in the way.
Your hair is always in the way, which is
I'm going to sneak over and put some placenta in that hair. It needs something.
David's Pagan Adventure. Shall we go? It was a late Friday afternoon, and David was ready to take off for the big Samhain weekend in the green hills of Virginia Beach. He knew he would not be able to attend the film Freakout, so he contacted Larry and said, "Tell those bozos I'm out of town all weekend. I won't be able to watch The Blob for the third time. I'm going pagan." With that, David grabbed his bags and headed off to the airport. It was a 7-hour flight, and David had plenty of time to relax and listen to DJ Chameleon mixes on his iPod. The flight landed without a hitch, and David was off to the rental to pick up a 1970 Gremlin for his drive up into the mystical hills of Williamsburg. During the drive, David decided to drop some magical laudanum, so he began connecting with the elements before he arrived at his destination. About an hour later, it was just starting to get dark out. That's when David noticed he'd been driving with his blinker on, and his muffler had been dragging on the road for the last 666 minutes. Then he noticed the cruiser lights in his rearview mirror. David promptly pulled over and rolled down his window. The officer, a local sheriff's deputy, carefully approached the car. "Sir, do you know how fast you was going?" Incensed, David replied, "Listen up, Officer Poo Pants. I'm an attorney and I'm very important. You can't pull me over for being one with the elements. I was driving 13 miles per hour under the listed speed limit of 1 million miles per hour." The deputy was not pleased. "Sir, please place your hands on your car and spread your legs. Have you indulged in any intoxicants tonight?" Just then, David bonked the officer on the head with his scrotum. "So moted be, motherfucker." The deputy was out cold. David then pushed his unconscious body into the trunk and went on his merry way. A short while later, David arrived at a spot where that evening pagan rituals would take place. He drove up to the gates, which held up a sign that read, "Enter these beautiful gates and leave all your octopod behind." David drove on until he arrived at the place of the rituals. There were 5 distinct parking areas: fire, water, earth, and cemetery. David parked in fire spot number 100. David had forgotten his Celtic hooded ritual clothes, so he slipped into a t-shirt that read, "Pagan as shit," and walked towards the circle of fire. He was immediately stopped by Ballyhoo, the great witch of tonight's Samhain services. "David, you know, we weren't wearing our pagan as shit shirts this weekend. We're going with the nude option, so strip down and don't stop when you get to your banana hammock." David stripped out of his clothes and continued walking towards the Samhain services. Eyes gazed upon him. The fires crackled and the air smelled of formaldehyde. The flames illuminated his manly prostate. Then from the shadows emerged a tempting figure. Oh, Christ. A witchess of the highest order. She observed a bead of sweat running down David's earlobe due to the heat of the fire, and she spoke sensuously. "Hello, David. I am Seamus Hikate. Some people know me as Jimmy's mother goddess." "You look quite festive, David, and your prostate is quite impressive. But you appear to have forgotten to bring your blood sacrifice this Samhain evening." David, always thinking on his feet, remembered the deputy unconscious in the trunk of his 1970 Gremlin. "Oh, I did bring a blood sacrifice. The greatest blood sacrifice of all. A filthy fuzz." David popped open his trunk and pulled the officer out and dragged him to the altar, center of the ring of elements. Jimmy's mother goddess was pleased. Seamus Hikate began stroking down her uterus with the saliva of a dead platypus. She began to feel her boobs pulse and throb. "Oh, David, recite the incantation, David. Recite, recite." Oh, God, here we go.
You know, Jesus Christ. Oh my God, wait a minute.
David began to recite, "O mighty elemental gods of Samhain, I call on thee to accept this glorious sacrifice. Fire, water, air, earth, and ocean. Accept this sacrificial vessel and bring forth the giraffes of the forest to saturate this scary soil with your fertile leavings. In this we honor our dead. So mote it be." Just then the ground began to quake, the earth cracked open, and sky blue pink smoke began to billow up from the fissures. Jimmy's mother goddess fell to the ground and began to writhe in waves of ecstasy and agony. The pagans began to chant words they themselves had never known before. "Kanda astrata amantos flan, Nosferatus Kanda amantos." Then at the height of the ritual crescendo, lightning crashed and appeared a floating gray visage. It was the ghoulish face of an entity very familiar to David. Then it spoke. "I am the unseen shambler of the dimensions beyond. In the past, you have known me by a name as Reverend Holstein, but tonight I reveal to you my real form. I am Paul Smith of Texas, and I have come to take revenge upon David Yore, Seamus Hikate, and the followers of this misguided band of earth witches. Paul Smith then took his final form as the tentacled, calm, spiked-toothed dimensional sea demon Cthulhu. Oh my God, this goes on forever. David was flabbergasted. But he knew then he would have to sacrifice himself to save the pagans and the elements. Go ahead, you gross, drippy fuck Garibaldi. Take your best shot, because I'm about to send you back to the depths from whence you came. David squatted partially and reached down between his legs to reveal a sack. From this, he pulled out a tremendous weapon that was his greatest advantage, the severed head of Medusa. The Gorgon's eyes caught Paul Smith's gaze perfectly. Her eyes lit up in his final gaze before transition to a lump of gray stone. David had saved the earth and all of her wondrous creatures from the wicked jowls of the evil monster Paul Smith. Unfortunately, David also caught the gaze of Medusa, along with Jimmy's mother goddess and all the other pagans. Though they did erect a sign dedicated to the random statues of the pagans that saved the earth, and those statues stood in honor on that spot until the year 2050 when the sun went supernova. So mote it be, David Yore. So mote it be.
Yay!
Oh, God.
Let's go to the clip.
Yes. Oh, we got to do that thing. So, Jimmy, is there cruddy cuisine this week?
Oh, totes my goats, my broats. Let's go to the clip.
There will be a video of some sort. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to make some food or if I'm going to do another TikTok.
Your fan viewership is wondering what's going to happen. Oh, that was awesome. That was a great clip. What about Vinny? Everybody wants
found shit.
Everybody wants a monster minute, Vinny. You got something for him?
Greetings, film freakout fanciers. It is I, Count Chameleon Well, seer of the future, sayer of the sooth, and reader of cue cards. Okay, put the other one. In front of me, 3 sealed envelopes, each containing a question. I've never seen these questions, and I will answer each before I open the envelopes and read the questions. Let us begin. May Jack Beach show up at your event 30 minutes prior it starts, then leave when it starts, never to be seen again. Okay, here we go. The Food and Lisa. I can't open it. Name 2 bland things about Ireland. Yes. May Joan Mustang show you her prolapsed anus. I did not know that. On and forever. This bit. What is the length of time when Gino writes the Madlibs? Or Nadlibs, whatever you want to call them. May David Google and share information that you already know. Oh, sorry, here it is. I owed the final envelope. Hot, wet, horny women. Name something you will never find in Paul's gaming sessions and/or conventions.
He was trying to get out of it.
I know. He's trying to quit doing the monster.
I like the Monster Minute.
Okay. It's not too much of dumb Vinny.
No.
Vinny, I like
You
it.
never have too much Vinny.
Everybody loves it.
How can you not like a Monster Minute when you're on a film freakout?
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't even know what McNasty's bit is called right now.
He's going to talk about a record that was a record, but then became another record, and now it's 2 records.
Pushed my foot down to the floor to give the guy the shake. But the little mesh ram was getting right behind. He still had on his brake. He must have thought his car had more guts as he kept on tooting his horn.
I think McNasty's segment will probably mutate into him just drinking.
I like that.
I can get on board with that.
I like it too.
There you go.
That's it for this week, weirdos. I want to thank once again my amazing and talented co-host. What's his name? Vinny, right?
Yeah, he's German and Irish.
And the always hilarious Gino Royd. And of course, our guest for this week, the amazing David Yor. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Right, awesome. Thank you for coming out and spending all this time telling us what's going on in the world of David Yor. Well, it was great meeting you, man. We finally got to speak. We know that you're real now. You're not somebody else in
a bot.
It was great to meet you guys too,
Yes.
but I kind of feel like I already know all you guys because I see you all the time.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. It's like this weird kind of like I know you, but I don't know you kind of thing. So, but now
Right,
we know
so I
you.
mean,
now
how we
everybody's
know
going to
you?
know you. Just
Hey, wait. I didn't know there was pizza. Vinny, where
Vinny is completely distracted. We should probably do the.
did pizza?
Lisa's yelling at me.
Should we do
Maybe
the
you guys
outro?
should use a different device. Maybe you
So-
should do that. I said maybe you should use a different dildo. All right.
So let's go ahead and let David go, and then we can go watch these movies and keep Lisa happy. How's that?
Oh, God.
Has she been complaining?
She's been complaining.
That's
She's mad because we're
She's
late.
arguing
You
with
know,
Vinny.
she's mad because we're late and we didn't allow Alan to take over.
All right,
Okay.
All right.
see you guys.
See you, brother.
Bye
Thank
guys.
It must be pretty bad if oh, for God's sake. The Vinny Comedy Hour. My goodness. Well, we'll just sit here and watch Vinny and see what happens next. You know, we weren't wearing our pagan as shit shirts this weekend. We're going with the nude option. So strip down and don't stop when you get to your banana hammock. David stripped out of his clothes. Seamus Hikate began stroking down her uterus with the saliva of a dead platypus. So mote it be, David. So mote it be.
You know, David, you're not helping.
I never said I was a helper.